What's going on, YouTube? My name is Skilled87, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing Crysis 3 for the PC. Before that, real quick, yes, this review is late, and yes, all my future reviews will be just as late because I no longer possess the drive I once had about 4 or 5 years ago when I first came on YouTube. Because when I first came on YouTube, I had this idea that I wanted to be the first guy on YouTube with reviews for games. I wanted to be the first guy that got the games a week or two in advance and put the unboxing on YouTube. And that's when my channel was in its prime. I was getting views from 5 to 30,000. I even have one video where I have over 100,000 views. But it's been several years, and I no longer care about that. YouTube is not my life. It's not my career. I do not make real money off this website. I make pocket change. Pocket change I use to buy a couple games here and there, or just like random shit that I don't need, like a new pair of sneakers, or whatever. I have a real career, for those who refuse to believe that. But YouTube is just something I do for fun. And I no longer care about getting games the day they come out. Okay, I just started playing Tomb Raider. I play Guild Wars a lot. I just started playing Tomb Raider. I beat Crysis a day ago. Got it a few days ago. I still have to get God of War. I still have to get BioShock, which I've been waiting for. And I will continue to do my reviews because there's quite a few of you guys that appreciate what I have to say. You respect my opinion. So I do these, reviews for you guys. I no longer get the views, like I said, like I used to. My view counts now between 500 to 2,000. I don't really give a shit. As long as I can satisfy a couple people on YouTube and they got what they wanted out of my review, I'm happy with that. So let's get this review started. Crysis 3. Crysis 3 at the moment, I dig the game, but I'm at the same time extremely disappointed with it. Because even though it's called Crysis 3, we might as well just call it Crysis 2.5. Okay. It's in no shape, way, or form a bad game, which saved this game score-wise. What lowered the score for this game a lot for me is the fact that it's not worth $60. And it's honestly a recycled game. They took Crysis 2, changed 2-3 things, and called it Crysis 3. Okay? Let's get the multiplayer out the way. Multiplayer is the same thing as Crysis 2. Not like Call of Duty the same, where at least Call of Duty gives you, new weapons to fuck with, new environments, new new character skins, new perks. Crysis 3 is Crysis 2 online, with the addition of a bow and a couple of different new modes and shit, which really aren't that populated to begin with, and the fact that your abilities such as armor up and cloaking now have their own separate energy bar, and sprinting no longer depletes said energy bars. That's it. They took Crysis 2, tweaked it a bit multiplayer-wise, and added that as the multiplayer component for Crysis 3. That to me is not worth $60. Okay, so that right there is just like, bam, like that's just bad. The multiplayer. If you enjoy Crysis 2 multiplayer and that game is still populated and people are still playing it, you honestly don't even need to get Crysis 3. If you want to, in a sense, start over, because that's all you'll be doing when you get Crysis 3. The same way you play Crysis 2, it will be the same way you play Crysis 3 online. Sucks. Story-wise, let's talk about the single player. The main reason the majority of people bought the game. It's alright, okay? For those who are unfamiliar with what's up with Crysis 3 and what's the story, the game takes place 20 plus years after the events of Crysis 2, and you meet up with an old friend, Psycho, and then you basically continue your fight against the Ceph and the Cell Corporation. It's a very nice sci-fi story, and the ending was really good. I really dug the ending. Like you go through Crysis 1, 2, and 3, and you get this really like dramatic but satisfying ending. I enjoyed the single player. What I didn't enjoy about the single player was how it really just wasn't anything more than a beautiful game. If it's one thing Crysis does well, and I will give it to Crytek, is it's one of those first-person shooters that really convinces you that you are this character. If it's one thing I look for in a first-person shooter is immersion, okay? Do the bullets sound correct? Do they sound powerful? When I move, does my screen shake? When I get shot, does my screen shake? Does the HUD shake? When I jump and I land on the ground, does my character, in a sense, show that he's hurt? Things like that. And that's all good, but it was also good in Crysis 2, and they took all the same animations from Crysis 2 and put them in Crysis 3. So nothing is technically new with these animations. All the single player really added was Ceph weapons. They gave they gave Prophet, aka Lawrence Barnes, more of a character. He's more verbal now. But other than that, we've been there and done that. Like, you know, you just continue the good fight to save the fucking universe. You know, hello Halo. But it's not a bad game though. When you play to a single player, you're gonna love the fact that the game looks gorgeous. The controls are on point as they always are. Okay, gunplay is satisfying. There's lots more weapons to use now because you get to use the set weaponry. You know, you always feel like a badass playing this game. There's no doubt about it. You know, when you play Crysis, you feel like a fucking walking tank of destruction. But what sucks about it is nothing is actually new. When you play through the campaign, you'll swear that you've done this in previous Crysis games. Like, you pay $60, I pay $30, I got it on Origin. You pay $60 for this game on console, and you're going to beat the game in like 5-6 hours, even on veteran difficulty and higher. Enemy AI is an improvement from Crysis 2, but they're still stupid. I've outsmarted the AI way too many times. Like, they would shoot at me, I would go behind, I would hide behind a wall, and the enemies would just like, forget about me. I'd be like, okay. And yes, this game support. It's built from the ground up, as was Crysis 2 on the Xbox 360, ported to the PC and PS3. The PC version runs okay. I'm running the game on the most powerful graphics card by NVIDIA. NVIDIA, the game that Crysis was actually originally created to show off what NVIDIA graphics cards can do. But only Crysis 1 was an actual PC game. So, no matter the advertisement they do for Crysis, you know, Crysis 3, granted, looks beautiful on PC. Any game on PC looks fucking beautiful if you put everything on ultimate settings. The game actually doesn't look as good as Crysis 1. It's smooth, it's fast-paced, it's a wonderful looking game, but it's not a PC game. It's a port. Which is like, okay, the game's sexy as fuck, but it's not as sexy as it should be. And there's too much of the same in this game. So what I have to say about Crysis 3? At the end of the day, it's Crysis 2.5. It's not a bad game in any shape, way, or form, but you already own this game. It's called Crysis 2, and it's really fucking upsetting because that's like a big slap in the face, like just to the customers. You know, people like to bash on sports games and Call of Duty for releasing a game every year, but at least Call of Duty gives you lots of fucking guns to fuck with. They give you a different story every single year. It's always a different experience with Call of Duty. Sure, it's the same thing because the game's always, you know, remains fast-paced, but at least they give something, you know, visually different. Crysis 3, you know, from 2 to 3, Crysis 2 to 3, it really isn't all that different. And that's very upsetting. Like, you'll like the game, but when you beat it, you're going to be like this. Damn, I spent $60 on this shit? So, sadly, I have to give Crysis 3 a 7 out of 10. It's not a bad game. Okay, and it's a good game, but that's all it is. It's just a graphical powerhouse. 7 out of 10, Crysis 3 for the Xbox 360, PC, and PS3. Thank you for watching my video. I'll catch you guys next video. Peace.